What's good, YouTube? Welcome to the first video on the new channel. We're not sure of the name yet, but we are sure that we're gonna have a good time on this channel, man. Talk a lot of sports, drink a lot of beers, man. You know what? First episode, it's only right.
To the new channel.
To the new channel,
Or
man.
already existing channel, we just changed the name.
So, I'm Esai, aka EGuap. Some of you may know me from my other channel, Esai Givens. I'm joined by my brother here.
Diego, also known as DBoogie on YouTube.
And as you can tell, we're real big NFL guys, you know. Grew up playing football, love football. That's my first love for real. I'm a big Raiders fan.
Big Steelers fan. NFL, college football. You know, we talk about it all.
So, you know, I feel like we don't really need too much of an intro for this first video. You guys are just going to get to learn us over the uploads. Hopefully, we're more consistent. We did try this in the past, but, you know, we're giving it a second go. And I already have some topics here to discuss. And let's just go ahead and get this one out the way.
Yeah.
What? You want to talk about head coaching?
I'm just saying today, we should start. Today's January
20th. No, let's just start with the more.
What happened today?
No, we'll get to it. We'll get to it because that's still fresh. Okay. Let's start about Chiefs. 3P, yes or no?
Chiefs 3P, yes or no?
Thoughts?
I think they're gonna do it. I think the best possibility we had to stop a Chiefs 3P was Lamar and the Ravens. I think most people thought that out the AFC. Now that the Ravens are gone, Josh Allen and the Bills got to go into Arrowhead and win it. Can they? Possibly, but I would bet on the Chiefs winning that game. And then in the NFC, I don't think Commanders or Eagles beat the Chiefs. So it's looking like a 3P. It's looking like the script is going to hit in the NFL, bro.
As much as I hate to say it, each week they survive, the chances just increase. So, you know, coming off the first round bye, then who they played last week?
Houston?
Yeah, they just beat Houston. I didn't really expect much out of Houston. I don't think anybody really expected C.J. Stroud. I mean, he was closer than imagined. That Houston defense came out in the first half. They were getting stops. It looked like it was going to be a close game. There were some calls that kind of swayed. Honestly, I don't see the Bills beating the Chiefs at home. But it is to note that the Bills did beat them in the regular season. I'm not too sure they can do it again because, you know, playoff Patrick Mahomes is just different. And as much as, like, everyone wants to say this was an off year for him, the wide receiver room got better.
And it's in Arrowhead, bro.
I don't think – I mean, bro, as much as you can game plan and study film from that regular season matchup, you can't prepare for Patrick Mahomes, man. Like, I'm not even – bro, it sounds like I'm glazing that man. I personally don't even think – he's a top 3 quarterback in the league right now, but we can get to that. He's not. I can give you 3 names. But Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, and Josh Allen are all on that elite level. You don't think Lamar's on that level?
No, I do. I think Mahomes is on a tier on his own right now just because he's the back-to-back Super Bowl champ. He's had a down year statistically, but he's still the best quarterback. I think if I'm taking a fantasy team or if I'm drafting and I'm getting one quarterback to start my team, you could argue Lamar Jackson just because of his physical ability, but I mean, Mahomes is the guy right now everyone's trying to knock off. So you could say statistically he's 4th on that list between Burrow, Allen, and Lamar.
Yeah.
But I think we know he is the best.
Yeah, he just got that X factor. He wins games. That's what it comes down to. All the stats look nice, passing yards, rushing yards, but winning games is just the next level stat. But, you know, me personally, coming out of the AFC West, I don't like this standard that everyone holds him to. When I first started watching Mahomes, honestly, I did look at him through that light of, like, he's the second coming of Tom Brady. But, like, the more that his career plays out, I start to notice, like, you know, he's human. And, you know, we did beat them last year on Christmas. And, you know, stuff happens, but I don't think he's touching 7 rings. So
he gets that 3P, bro. It's gonna be pretty hard to talk against him. He gets that 3P.
I'm just talking optimistically, bro. I'm hoping he doesn't get 7, bro. That's gonna be the AFC West for like the next
It's been the AFC North for the last 10 years. They've ran it.
AFC West, yeah, they've ran it.
What'd I say?
You said AFC North.
Oh no.
Yeah, the Pat. I mean, Pat and the Chiefs have ran the AFC West. The AFC at that.
Yeah.
They've made 7 straight AFC championships.
Yeah.
So I mean, it comes out of the West, and we don't have to get too much into the AFC West.
It comes out of the West.
It does. It does.
I'll give it to you. Yeah.
But I was gonna say Broncos and Chargers both made a playoff appearance this year as well. So that's 3 out of 4 teams in our division. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about, will the Chiefs three-peat? Yes or no? Boogie says yes. Wishfully speaking, I would say no. But my honest take, I do think the Chiefs will have a Super Bowl appearance, and I don't see either one of the NFC teams really giving them a shot for their money. Eagles, probably their best bet. Jalen Hurts is a little banged up. I don't know, man. Honestly, I think the Chiefs are about to three-peat, and I'm just going to be...
I hope Bills take it, but...
I mean, that's hopeful thing. I love Josh Allen. I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I really hope they can go to Arrowhead and get the job done.
I think everyone's rooting for them.
America is rooting for them. Yeah. America would love a Bills-Commanders Super Bowl. That would just be top tier. We don't want to see Philly and Kansas City again, bro. Like, we've seen this over and over again.
And that's what it's gonna be, though,
bro.
Unfortunately, bro, that's what it's gonna be.
And it's like Philly fans getting a ring. Oh my gosh! And then it's Taylor Swift and the Swifties. It's the lesser of two evils, bro.
I think I'd go Chiefs. I'd go for the history and just say, Chiefs get the three-peat. Then have the Eagles win the bowl. Honestly,
this is enough Chiefs talk. Let's move on to the next topic, because that's just something we're gonna have to deal with.
Look at bro with the whole production right now too.
We got some good talking points here. Okay, so other than the Chiefs three-peat, we were supposed to predict our playoff bracket, but since we're already in championship weekend,
procrastinated.
I would say I love JD5, bro. Jaden Daniels came into DC, turned the city up, man. DMV, I'm from Virginia. We both from Virginia, so I love to see the Commanders thriving. Unfortunately, I do think it ends here. They're traveling to Philly. Saquon Barkley is running out of his mind. What? You think?
I know you're not editing this, so I'm not even gonna open my mouth. I was gonna say something foul, but
Saquon Barkley is
dog,
bro. Between Saquon and Jameer. Oh my goodness. And Josh had a great year. Like, that running back market getting pushed back up, because I remember we had that running back recession in the past.
Bijan Robinson literally tweeted during the game, like, thank you, Saquon, like, you're making the position.
Yeah, like, the running back position, I mean, that's just because mobile quarterbacks and Pat Mahomes and all these improvisers, like, the run game is still alive in the NFL, and that's a beautiful thing to see. So I love seeing that, honestly. But then again, like I'm saying, I want the Commanders to win. I want the Bills to win. But my mind and my heart, two different places. I think Eagles take that. I think Chiefs take that. And then probably Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I basically gave my answer when I said Chiefs three-peat. So, yeah, I got the Chiefs winning it, bro.
Okay, and then the next point was, who is the best running back in the league? And that's interesting. It's definitely between Saquon and Derrick Henry. I want to say Jahmyr Gibbs is up there, but I think he's on the incline.
He's third for me. I'm gonna go Saquon just because.
Yeah,
he's in his prime. Derrick Henry's 33, and he's running
in his prime.
That's the thing. How are you in your prime at 33 as a running back? So you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
But Saquon just hit 2,000 yards. Yeah. He has the best offensive line in the league.
Then
I don't want to take that away from him.
Then again, Derrick Henry didn't get over 20 touches a game all season.
But also,
Saquon was getting fed.
If you put Derrick Henry behind the Eagles O-line, it's still good. Mm-hmm. But if you put Saquon on the Ravens, I think it goes crazy when Derrick Henry's gone. Him and Lamar, dude, nah. But still, Derrick Henry's still crazy. I think Derrick Henry's 2. Right now, Saquon jumped him. But for the past 5 years, it's been Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
but right now, Saquon
is the best back in the league.
The best back in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Derrick's close behind, and Jahmyr is not too far off. Honestly, the game he had against the Commanders, divisional round, insane. I love Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Shout out to Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, best receiver in the league. I feel like you can't go anywhere else.
I'm going to say it goes back to the statistical years because it's Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
But I think Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football, but I think Jamar Chase had the best year in football. And he has, like, I feel for Justin Jefferson, bro. He's going from, who was his quarterback last year? Kirk. He's had Kirk. This year you're going into a McCarthy, hopefully. Then he gets hurt. You got Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's had a great year. And I think a lot of people let that recency bias creep into their mind considering, like, talking about him getting crazy numbers. He's still cooked with Sam Darnold. I think I would take Justin Jefferson, but Jamar Chase had the best year. He's the best right now, Jamar Chase.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's hard to deny right now. Like, it's not even just
Jamar Chase is different,
bro.
though.
Jamar had a Triple Crown year. Like, that's different, bro. You can't even say, that's not even recency bias. That's just like from week 1 to week 18, dominated, led the league in every stat. Like, you can't really deny that. Jetta's, I'm not gonna lie, Jetta's got scrapped by my boy Amik Robertson the other night. He got scrapped. So, Jamar Chase getting double teamed. They still got T. Higgins. Like, for him to, going into a game plan week against the Bengals, like, okay, game plan, stop Jamar Chase. And when he's still not getting contained, even double coverage, and he's still putting up over 100 receiving yards a game, 1 or 2 tuds, like, his productivity this year. I think Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson go back and forth, but right now, Jamar Chase is the best receiver.
LSU boys, bro.
And last, best quarterback in the league.
Last night he lost, so today calling him the best quarterback in the league kind of sucks. But Lamar Jackson. If we're talking about the year, like I just said, Jamar Chase. And then I said Justin Jefferson, I would take him. I would take Mahomes over Lamar. But this year, right now, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the league. They lost. Lamar still should be MVP. He's still the most dynamic player in football, but it's Lamar Jackson.
Bro, I love Lamar so much. And I want to say he's the best quarterback in the league right now, but I don't think I can, honestly.
Who? You can't say, you're going to say Josh Allen. Because he beat him head to head.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't, like, people are saying the MVP battle is between who wins the game. I don't think, I think Lamar Jackson had the better regular season.
He's the MVP.
And he's the MVP. But best quarterback in the league? I'm not sure if I'm ready to give him that title. He might. Bro, you can't turn the ball. Bro, the best quarterback in the league, are you turning the ball over 2 times in the divisional playoff game?
His playoff, bro. Every season, it feels like we have this conversation in the playoffs. Lamar in the playoffs.
It was kind of upsetting to watch that. And I know that's his main focus because even against the Steelers last week, going into the game, he's like, limit turnovers. We played them in the regular season. He had those fumbles. Can't be throwing picks, bro. I thought he was going to clean it up. He threw that first pick in the game, and then he came back out. I'm like,
I feel like Lamar or Josh, you can't really go wrong with the two. I would personally take Lamar, but if you took Josh, I can't argue it.
And, Joe's... He's up there, and then we say Patrick,
exactly.
We got a couple.
Those 4 though are solidified as the best right now.
Yeah,
I don't think you can argue Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. The order,
but I wouldn't say Pat is in the contention for best quarterback in the league right now. I would say it's between Josh and Lamar. Best quarterback.
I'm saying Joe the first 4 though. You can.
Yeah, but I'm saying top spot, who got it right now? Best quarterback in the league right now.
Lamar. Even though I'm wearing the black and gold, gonna be real, it's Lamar.
Yeah, I would go back and forth between Lamar and Josh Allen. Joe's still sneaky right there, but you gotta win games, even though it wasn't really his fault. But after last night, bro, after seeing them head to head, I think best quarterback in the league right now, Josh Allen's rolling, and I really hope he can roll into Arrowhead.
And that's another team that benefited from the running back. They lose Diggs, and everybody's like, what are they going to do? They get James Cook. They prioritize the run game more. It opens up the offense. So it's like the NFL goes in cycles, and the run game's finally coming back. Big football, big personnel is
bring back fullbacks, man. That's what I love to see.
Chargers.
My boy Alec Ingold. Okay. Well, that's a lot of NFL talk. We're already at 15 minutes. Now we're going to switch over to college football. Now with the Natty tonight, we got Ohio State versus Notre Dame. Predictions?
After watching both of these teams, I've seen a good amount of both of these teams' games this year. The talent on Ohio State is just really overwhelming to like 99% of college rosters. It's the best roster in college football.
For sure.
For a fact. Marcus Freeman has Notre Dame playing out of their mind, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Notre Dame keeps it tough and they're playing physical football, but I just see Ohio State winning the game. The spread is at like 9 points, which is crazy.
Yeah, for a natty.
But I could see Ohio State covering the spread and winning this game. I think it's just too much talent at the end of the day. Will Howard, I think he's pretty underrated just from a quarterback position. I think he gets way too much. There's so much talent around him. I think they get the light, not Will.
Overlooked for sure.
But Will Howard's been playing college football for a while now. He's been consistent for a while. He was Big 12 Player of the Year last year. He's ready for the big game. I think they win it. I'm also an Oregon fan, so I'm just glazing my opposing quarterbacks.
I be catching myself saying too much about like Lamar.
But I think Ohio State takes the natty.
I think if you guys remember the TCU natty, I think this potential
TCU natty.
Yes, I think this has potential to have similarities to that game.
That was the natty?
Yes, TCU made the natty.
TCU Georgia?
Yes, that was what, 2021?
No, that was
2020? What's the year? This is 25. That was
23.
Damn.
That was Max Duggard.
Yeah, no,
that was 23 or 22. 23.
I don't know. Seems like forever ago.
Wasn't last year was Michigan. The year before that was Georgia TCU, I think.
No.
Yeah, because it was the first.
Bro, CJ, no, because CJ was in the natty. Or no, CJ lost to Georgia that year, which led to, I don't know.
That was 20.
That was 22.
That was 23. No, because
this
this is CJ's second year. So
2 years ago was 23.
Yeah, and that's when Georgia
beat
beat TCU.
Well, anyways,
fact check.
I think.
You think it's gonna be?
It was 22.
Okay.
Wait, no. It was 23, but it was 22 season. It was in 2023. 23.
Okay.
So, I think that this game is not gonna be close. Marcus Freeman, great season.
Are you saying it's gonna be a whooping like that though? Like
I said, it would have similarities. I don't think it's gonna be 50 to. I think, bro. Will Howard has something to prove, bro. He's not considered a top quarterback in this draft class. You know, Jeremiah Smith, all this hype, Travion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, all this star power that they got on the offensive side of the ball, and the quarterback's getting overlooked. Ibuka, bro. They're getting over. I mean, he's getting overlooked. So I think he comes out tonight, lets his nuts hang, and they drop like 40 on them boys. What was the score? Oregon, they was up like, what, 21-7 at half or 28-7 at half on Oregon. And I don't know, man. This Ohio State offense is explosive. Shout out to Travion Henderson, man. I played against him in Little League. I want to see them do good. I think they about to put their hands on Notre Dame. And like I said, this game will not be close. If it is close, or if Notre Dame wins, hey, I'll admit I was wrong.
prediction.
I also am not a big fan of Riley Leonard, but let's just say they get 10 or 14. I think Ohio State puts up 35.
I'm going 34, 34-17, 34-21.
Yeah, I'll say like 35-14, something like that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan.
I was against a popular pick, just like the Chiefs, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The TCU Georgia game was 23, and it was 65-7. So I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then again, yeah, it could be a 3 or 4 score differential. Next topic. Is the CFP bracket broken? So coming from an Oregon fan that won the Pac-12 championship, got the first round bye,
Big Ten.
You guys did go Big Ten now. Lost first round. Every conference champion lost.
Everybody who had a bye week lost.
So
I think it's just tough. I don't think it will be, say next year it's the same format, same bracket. I think it would be better. But we just got super unfortunate that Ohio State was a 8 seed, I think, or 7.
Yeah, that was
so
crazy.
That's just really, because that 8 seed could have been
ASU,
insert whatever team you want, and it's not Ohio State. I think Ohio State was the team nobody wanted to play, and unfortunately, we got Ohio State. It's just luck of the draw. We got unlucky. You still got to play ball at the end of the day, bro. Like, I'm not really
it's
hearing
inevitable.
that.
Yeah,
we beat them once. They beat us once.
Essentially, that's then nothing guarantees. It's the reward for having a good regular season.
I also don't think a bye week is as good in college ball as it is in the NFL. So
why so? How so?
Because I don't think guys aren't as professional. Guys aren't as like. I think when you mess up the routine of a college kid, it's going to affect them more than a professional athlete. I think the professional athlete they'll have more time to prep, and it's just better in the NFL. In college, I think it could do more negative than it would in the NFL. Basically, is what I'm saying. And we got off to a really slow start. Yeah. And a lot of credit to that is Ohio State. But I don't know if that. I mean, every team that had the bye week got lost. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think I like the 12 team. When it was 4 teams, I wanted it higher. I think 12 is the perfect number. Could they make some tweaks and changes? Yeah, but I think it's been entertaining for the most part. I'm just probably a little biased because my team lost first round, but I mean, it is what it is. I think it's a good bracket.
I mean, that goes again to Notre Dame being independent, so I don't have to play.
They gotta join the conference, bro. They gotta join the conference.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair because
they get. I mean,
make their own schedule. Yeah, they just play.
They don't have to play a championship game against somebody. Then it's like.
And all that NIL money that they're gonna get for an appearance in the Natty, dump it back into players, build a super roster. I mean, that's NIL.
I think they'll be in the conference though.
They definitely should be. I don't think the playoff format is broken because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to match up against whoever.
You gotta be the best anyway.
Yeah, I don't think all the Oregon fans that were crying really had any validity behind the argument, other than they shouldn't have to face Ohio State until it is a Natty because you guys should get to the Natty first and then lose.
First seed.
Yeah, like look at the Eagles.
Big Ten championship.
They played. Who did the Eagles play in the division? They just played the Rams, and like people were saying, this is the easiest Super Bowl playoff since the 2022 Eagles, because now they only have to beat what? They beat Matt Stafford and the Rams. That wasn't an easy game, by the way. Then they're gonna have to beat Jane Daniels and then Super Bowl. So it's like you guys should have been granted an easier.
I also saw a tweet like that just reminded me about how the NFC is 20 times easier to make it.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
I wonder, like that's pretty tough, bro. Like the AFC, you gotta go beat Josh Allen in his house. You gotta beat Mahomes in his house.
Lamar
in the NFC,
Burrow, bro.
The
like
Lions just got beat in their house. Like I don't know, bro. That's tough to me.
Every elite quarterback is in the AFC right now. Everybody thought, oh, Brock Purdy, he came in, he's the next Brady. Bro, what are we talking about? Jared Goff in the most important game of his career, well, second most important game of his career. That Nick, bro, we don't
calling him Jared Goof.
Bro, what are we doing, Jared? Like that was insane. I think that late hit on his pick six fried him after that. He was done. Next question. Did NIL ruin college football? I think yes. I wouldn't say ruin because it does kind of allow, some of the other teams to flourish, not just Alabama and everybody saying they were paying people on the table, Saban. People are saying Saban left because of NIL and now other teams are getting the chance to compete against them. And the fact that why is Carson Beck becoming the highest paid athlete in college football for entering the transfer portal after coming off of a down year where his draft stock completely dropped? I understand where he's coming from. If you're not going to go high in the draft, just hit the transfer portal, get a payout, and milk college NIL money. But that kind of ruins it for the younger guys, like the walk-ons or the red shirts or anyone that's going to Miami as a true freshman. Now they got to sit behind Carson Beck. I think it's stupid, bro. Like, why do we have 26, 27-year-olds playing in college football, bro?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it ruined it. I would just say it changed it. But I think the change is always going to happen in the sport. I remember when college athletes weren't getting paid, and I always thought they should get paid. Mm-hmm. To this level, it's probably a little too much. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, these players have a lot of value in a lot of states across the country. Like when you think of guys like Manziel in the pool he had in the state of Texas, the amount of money he made off jersey sales, like I do believe he earned some of that money. He deserves some of that money. It does change it, and I think it ruins it for a lot of like old-fashioned type of fans. And it does kind of ruin it.
Yes,
but like it
not
was
in a
bound to
sense
happen.
of they deserve it. Of course, 100%. These players deserve it. Manziel changed the landscape of college football. You know, some of those names, Reggie Bush, like those players that deserve the NIL, deserve those accolades and the payment that came with it. Just in a sense of now, players are opting out of the draft just to stay in college longer because they're going to make more money through NIL versus going in a rookie contract somewhere. And now it's like delaying players coming on. And now we're going to see more, like, you know, we had more 3 and dones. People played 3 years in college and they go to the league so they can get that first paycheck. Now it's like, okay, now we're going to stay longer. So now it's just like,
and does that ruin the hunger of the sport as a whole? Like you think of guys going to college and like you want to make
you want to make it to the league. That's what I'm saying. Like, now it's like, bro, they're making
the ticket at 16 now.
Millions, bro.
It's gonna create, but that's gonna come with it. It's gonna create more divas. It's gonna create a lot of things. But I mean, I think it was bound to happen at some point. I think there's changes to be made to it, but
because that's what made college football what it was. Like, bro, you're watching NFL on Sunday, those guys are getting paid. You're watching college football on Saturday, those guys are trying to get paid. So now it's like there's gonna be people. There's already college athletes making more than these rookies in the league. Some of vets, and it's like, bro, Carson Beck, multi-million-dollar deal to go play at Miami. What are we talking about here? When there could have been another emerging star. Like, I like seeing those young superstars coming out of college, you know, early. Look at Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith. Like, you know, that's real, true college athletes. Not 24, 25-year-olds, Stetson Bennett taking NIL money, milking their college career, and then not going into the league. So,
but that seems like it's really just quarterback position, though. That is getting
big. Essentially, yeah.
But like there was 27, 28-year-old quarterbacks 10 years ago too. So it's like
it's just bad now that they're getting they're getting all the shine and the spotlight and the money. Like maybe I'm just a Carson Beck hater.
It's
maybe
part of the evolution, bro. I mean, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah. Okay, going into that, now we can speak upon the NFL draft and the top prospects in the NFL draft. Actually, let's just take a time out. We haven't addressed the elephant in the room. Obviously, the date of this recording, January 20th, following the weekend where the Commanders went into Ford Field and defeated the number 1 seed Detroit Lions, including offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who was highly sought after by the Las Vegas Raiders for our head coaching vacancy. And it broke news that he was signing with the Chicago Bears. So, initial thoughts, how I felt about that.
He fell to the floor.
I quite literally fell to the floor. I got back from the gym. My brother told me to check my phone. News broke. I see a jersey swap of him, Bears gear, with Caleb Williams. I fell down to the ground, and I had to get myself together. So there's a lot to unpack here. Of course, I couldn't see past Ben Johnson as our head coach going into the 2024-2025 season. It's hard to accept the fact that he will not be my head coach, but the show must go on. I literally wish that we recorded this podcast a little bit sooner because I was telling my brother, why would you not take the Chicago job? He has it made for him. I think Caleb Williams, everyone's starting to fall back on Caleb Williams and everybody's saying, oh, Jaden Daniels was better too than the first overall pick. I think Jaden Daniels is phenomenal. I wanted him as a Raider, but do not overlook Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams shined a lot this year, and they couldn't get it done with Eberflus, but bringing in Ben Johnson, I think that Chicago offense is Caleb is definitely going to flourish. Caleb is going to have a great sophomore year, but where does that leave the Raiders? Pete Carroll, John Gruden, Aaron Glenn, we're in shambles. I don't know. We're going to see. I trust Brady and his advisory. We're going to follow with the rest of these head coach candidates, top candidates, and continue to interview and weigh our options. But I figured when we fired Antonio Pierce, Ben Johnson was the move. I thought that move was to ensure Ben Johnson, you have a spot here. cleared out Tom Telesco as well. Bring your own GM. I guess I feel like even our organization didn't really expect that because per sources up until the news broke, you couldn't tell anybody on Raiders Twitter, Instagram, anything that we weren't landing Ben Johnson. And I think even Brady thought we were landing Ben Johnson because he was covering the game with Fox on Saturday and he spoke so highly of him like he knew he was, yeah. So, yeah, I just have a lot to say about that, but there are some other good guys out there. I know we requested an interview with Todd Monken, offensive coordinator with the Ravens. I don't think Cliff's going anywhere, but, he was supposed to be our OC going into this season. We'll love Kingsbury. Who else? Belichick. Brady reached out to Belichick, but, he's UNC now, and he does have a $10 million buyout clause in his contract if he leaves before June. Vrabel went to New England. Ben Johnson was obviously the top head coaching candidate. And like they said earlier on the Pat McAfee show, it was just every team with a head coaching vacancy was waiting for Ben Johnson to land. And since he landed in Chicago, now the rest of the coaches will slowly get hired because everyone was just so sought after that one guy. And once he fell, everything else will fall into line. So hopefully, we'll name our head coach this week, maybe, potentially. And we can get this show on the road.
Hopefully.
And you're over here laughing.
This type of stuff makes me a little more grateful for my head coach, who seems to be on the hot seat every time we lose in a playoff, which I understand, bro. But this is a clear representation. Not trying to. They could get this coaching hire right, and everything could be smooth.
Until Ben Johnson puts pen to paper,
greener, bro. The grass is not always greener.
Until Ben Johnson puts pen to paper, he's not the head coach yet. Just like Kingsbury.
It's got to be Aaron Glenn, though. That's got to be number 2. That's the number 2 guy.
We need an offensive-minded HC, bro. We can't.
Aaron. Don't though. You need, if you get that defensive head coach, sure, but he has to hire a good OC. Like when you look at the Texans, D'Amico Ryans, former defensive player, just like Aaron Glenn, defensive coach, but he got Bobby Slowick, OC, good OC. They can make it work. You can make it work with a good OC. You don't have to have would you rather have Cliff or Aaron Glenn?
Cliff.
That's crazy to me.
Cliff.
That's crazy to me. You've seen Cliff coach before too.
I know, and he didn't have the best showing in Arizona, but
I would take it. Aaron Glenn's got to be 2 right now in the pecking order. I think it's going to go Ben Johnson. Everybody was on Ben. But then you got to go to Aaron Glenn. What Aaron did with that Lions defense, who was just decimated with injuries.
That's very true. Leading up until that Washington game, you let Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury drop 50 on you. Aaron Glenn and Cliff just went head-to-head this weekend, and Cliff dropped 50 on that boy. And that's due to the fact the Lions are very thin in that defense. Amik broke his arm in the first series of the game. But, bro, some of that's credit to Jaden Daniels, because Jaden Daniels is just phenomenal. But at the same time, I seen the highs and lows, mostly highs with Aaron Glenn. Back to the Vikings game, fighting for the number 1 seed. When he was playing against the Vikings, I don't think they scored a touchdown. When what was that, week 18? Yeah, fighting for the 1 seed. Bro, that man was sitting on the sideline, feet crossed up, kicked up. It was like 40-9. Held the Vikings to 3 field goals. I love Aaron Glenn, but I think the direction that the Raiders were heading with the offensive-minded head coach and Ben Johnson and that.
I also think Aaron Glenn is more likely in other spots than the Raiders. Like Ben Johnson was tied to the Raiders. Yeah. Aaron Glenn drafted by the Jets.
Jets.
Played for the Jets. That seems like that should be the spot, or the Saints. Mm-hmm. You got guys like Mike McCarthy out there, who seems like he might be this. I would think Aaron Glenn, Jets, Mike McCarthy.
All right, guys, we had to experience some technical difficulties, first episode on, but we will get together. Back to what you were saying.
Basically, I was just saying the most likely outcome in my mind is Aaron Glenn does go to the Jets or Saints. I would lean Jets just because of his
home
past.
ties, yeah.
So that leaves the Saints, maybe Mike McCarthy. I've seen a lot of Mike McCarthy to the Saints. So the Raiders are in a tight spot. I feel like most of their cards were pushed towards Ben Johnson. So I think it was a shock to me, honestly, that he went to the Bears, because when he brought up Go to the Bears. You've got Caleb. You've got DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. He can go crazy with that offense. But I thought, man, you're not going to stay in division and go take the job. But money talks. He ended up doing it. I understand. Got to feed your family. But I thought he was going to go to the Raiders. So now it leaves him in a pretty sticky spot.
Who, the Raiders?
Yeah.
As far as Ben, I mean, that's a no-brainer. If I was a head coach candidate and I had a landing spot and it aligned with Caleb Williams and that talent that they got, I would definitely be over there in a heartbeat. But staying in division, I feel like if that doesn't add an extra grit to him signing, then I don't know what will. Like going against his former team twice a year, meeting up with Dan Campbell, getting a handshake at midfield before and after the game, I feel like that's going to create a good little spice, especially to their already rivalry. But as far as the Raiders now, I believe it was Ben Johnson won, and a lot of pages have speculated that Pete Carroll was our second option, and I am not excited about that at all. Honestly, I don't even see how Brady could bring in Pete after their Super Bowl matchup. I don't think that an older head coach is the move, especially with Vegas. The way that the league is moving right now, younger-minded offensive coordinators and these young, player-appealing coaches such as DeMeco Ryans, Cliff Kingsbury, like those type of guys, Dan Campbell, the coaches that are young and the players want to play for them, that cultivate a culture in that locker room.
That's Pete Carroll, though. He's
young.
He's old, but that's Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's teams have always loved Pete Carroll, bro.
True.
And he's coached some.
He's coached good teams. For sure. He's had phenomenal years.
And his exit in Seattle wasn't because he couldn't coach anymore.
Definitely not.
They just wanted to change. It's kind of like similar to maybe like the Steelers. If the Steelers were to move on from Mike Tomlin, it's not because Mike Tomlin's a bad coach. Yeah. It's because you want some fresh air.
Yeah.
So
but that's what I'm accrediting most of that, young hungriness to. I mean, young as far as under the age of 50.
Yeah.
Like Dan Campbell's young, Cliff's young, like the guy Ben Johnson young, like these names that were thrown around, like innovative, bro. Look at the plays. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody
tries to nab Marcus Freeman off of Notre Dame too.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like that's the wave of the NFL right now. That's what everyone wants.
I get that. Especially if it was my team, I wouldn't want them to hire an older coach. Just because I want somebody for the future.
Exactly.
And you want somebody who's going to set a foundation. So I can see that. But who is that guy?
It's hard to
see
after that.
Marcus Freeman. I feel like that's crazy.
Whoa.
That's a crazy name to throw out there right now.
He wins tonight.
Or he loses tonight. He's going to get some NFL calls. I really like Marcus Freeman. I'm not saying he's going to be a Raiders coach, but I think he'll be in the NFL.
Yeah, for sure. He's got an NFL
rather than
future.
Later.
He's definitely got
I think he's a guy that could, maybe even this season, bro. We've seen crazier things happen.
I'm not opposed to bringing back John Gruden. That's a younger guy, loves football. Players love him. He's insane. I like Gruden. But heading back to that,
the Natty's about to start too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Circling back, it is approximately 6:40, so it is January 20th at the time of this recording. Speaking of Marcus Freeman, he's about to go lead his team to the Buckeyes national championship, whatever. Last thing, if Ben Johnson is not successful in Chicago, I seen this tweet. It was funny. When he signed with Chicago, somebody said Ben Johnson will make a great OC hire in 2027. Like, that was just funny to me. Mm-hmm. It's kind of hating because,
that's like Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, that's how I feel about him choosing to go with another team.
There's a lot of guys. We don't know. Ben Johnson's unknown, bro. There's been a lot of play-calling gurus who just aren't head coaches.
They're not cut like that. But, final thing, bro, what does that say about the Raiders? If we can't even land Ben Johnson, that shows that a guy doesn't
Especially
believe.
It was rumored y'all offered the richest contract.
That's not a good look for us. That's basically
I think it's Mark Davis
going all in.
Time to get out.
Yeah,
especially when you talk about new, fresh air. People want to play for you. I don't think Mark Davis is that guy.
It's the ownership, bro. It's truly the ownership. We haven't been good since 2002. The past 23 years of the Raiders franchise. Well, set aside 2016, 2020, we did have wild card appearances, but I mean, that 2016 year, we were built for a playoff run. 2020, we kind of snuck in there. And Derek Carr, we whiffed it at the end. But we haven't been good since Rich Gannon. I would love to see a Raiders Super Bowl in my lifetime. The rate that we're going at, the direction is not well. If we just offered the best head coaching candidate the most money, a blank check, with Brady as a partial owner, and we couldn't land him, what does that say about how people view us as an organization and what we're going to go into this offseason with the number 6 draft pick? Not very good.
We need to make some mock drafts too, bro. It's almost mock draft season.
We're going to see what happens, man. Thank you guys for watching episode 1. Make sure y'all stay tuned, subscribe, post notifications, follow us on social medias, linked in the description. And comment what you think we should name this show, because we don't really have an idea yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Like he said, like, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Go Buckeyes.